Here we are, right and listen to episode 8. For you that don't know, this is the journey. This is how I became an All-American. Day by day, week by week, step by step, the audio message I recorded along the journey. Okay, in this episode, I'm at a point in the season now where I'm hitting 310. Obviously, I finished the season hitting 400, but at this point, I'm hitting 310. I've had some struggles, some games where in previous times they would have been slumps or down days for me where it probably would have extended beyond just a couple games. But I'm taking it, I'm trying to forge them into lessons that I learned and turn it into energy I can use to propel myself forward. Okay? Again, all I can ask on this journey is that you guys try to put yourself in my shoes because I feel like this can help someone. I feel like this can help you. Enjoy the episode.
Yo, Sunday, March 12th, 2023. Just got back last night from our week-long trip, our spring break trip. We had 8 games and 8 games in 6 days. And really it was like 5 days because one of those was off day, but we still had practice. So that brings me to the topic, and one of my favorite quotes is, no pressure, no diamonds, right? The idea that diamonds are formed under immense heat and pressure, which eventually over time forms a diamond. At least we're talking about natural diamonds. And again, this is just these are just my perspectives. This isn't like fact, black and white. This is like a fluid perspective that I have on something. So anyways, a few takeaways, right, from the past spring break week. That really is a challenge, right? When you embark on a trip like that with your team, and it's just game after game after game after game, day after day, repeat. Wake up, play early. Got the evening off. You wake up early, and then you got the evening off, and then maybe you wake up late. You got a night game, but then after the night game, you wake up early. You got a morning game. It's a grind. It's a grind. It's a lot of it's pressure, but if you use it the right way, you can make it a diamond. So another takeaway, right? The pressure sometimes is self-inflicted. The pressure isn't necessarily like physically there. I'd actually say like the pressure is always self-inflicted. Because what I learned throughout the week is, beginning of the week, there's kind of like those jitters. Like we're playing in Myrtle Beach. It's nice. It's warm. We've been in the cold all winter. Now I get the opportunity to play in the warm down south. And there's kind of like these jitters. But, excuse me. And like you go into it kind of like the first day, right? I was going into it as if it was like one doubleheader, right? And it really was just one doubleheader. But what was coming after that was, next day at 9, the following day at 9, then you got to practice, the following day at 9, then another 9, And if you let it, it can all swamp you. You can let the pressure just have a grip on you. And at moments, like I did let the pressure grip on me. But the difference this time around, though, with the pressure was I just kept telling myself a few things. I told myself, don't let the moment define you, define the moment. So, there's a couple, there's like games, couple games, few games stretch where I was kind of just struggling in a funk trying to figure it out. I could have threw my helmet like that was the old version. I could have kind of raged. That was the old version of me. I had to kill that version to become the new version, right? Which is not letting the moment define me, define the moment. Pushing through, pushing through. Because if I let that moment define me and the pressure get to me, then I fall to the pressure. The pressure won over me, and I can't let that happen. So that was one thing I learned. Keep pushing through, pushing through. With the mindset that my next point, what I kept telling myself, is what's down must come up. Life is a cycle. It's ebbs and flows, it's up and down. If you're down, you will come up. And the lower you go, the higher you'll rise. Obviously, no one wants to go super low. That's why, ideally you want to just have like a one game slump and then a good game and then a bad game and then a good game. You don't want to have like 5 bad games and then 5 good games, right? And then the third thing I kept telling myself was, you only got one play at a time. When you truly look at it, yeah, something just happened the play before, maybe like 30 seconds ago, and there's going to be another play that happens after the pitch that you're witnessing in like 30 more seconds. But the reality of it is you only got one play at a time. It's all you can control. And it hit me on the second day. I was thinking about a previous AB, and it was actually a good AB where I had a hit. And I was thinking about like, what led to that, and then boom, crack, ball hit in the gap, and I was a step off. I was a step off. Like, it was one, it was, I just needed one more step and I had it. And what caused that? I wasn't present. I wasn't focused on the play at hand. I was thinking about a previous play, and that was enough to throw me off one step, which I could have caught the ball, and it ended up not being any runs, but you never know. It's an alternate. It's a different timeline that if I would have caught the ball, obviously I didn't. I learned from it. And then the final point. This is the final point. Everything is a learning lesson. If you just let the pressure get to you, and you don't try to learn from it, the pressure will continuously find you. But if you take the pressure and you morph it into something else, whatever you desire out of it. For me, it was focus and clarity. The pressure was on me, right? Like, self-inflicted, obviously, like we said. But I was kind of going through a rough stretch of games. I was thinking about a lot of externalities. I was kind of letting the pressure get to me. I was letting the pressure get to me. But then I realized I can morph it. I can take the pressure and create focus out of it. Because the pressure, you kind of anxious. You got a little bit of anxiety. But when you're anxious and you got anxiety, you're like hyper focused if you can control it. And then as I started to realize that, I started to work ABs out. There's a few times I had an 0-2 count, 1-2 count. I got 2 strikes quick, and then that anxiousness, those jitters, that pressure, I just kept telling myself, pressure is the focus. Fear is the focus. And that, I worked out of those at-bats. I got a few walks. I had a I worked a hit out of one of them. It was, I was seeing the ball really well. Why? I turned that pressure into focus. I turned that pressure into clarity. And clarity I got, on the back end of the trip. What did I learn this week? Because I could have just said, it was a week of baseball. There's going to be more games. And those games pass, and I can't worry about them. But I looked at it through the lens of, what can I take away from this? What can I learn from this? Learn some different plans I can have at the plate. Learn a lot about preparing for game after game, body, mentally. I learned what is down will come up. It will come up. It is never down forever unless you keep it there. Because life itself is not a stagnant thing. It's continuous, constantly evolving or devolving if you let it. But whatever you focus on, it grows. Wherever your attention goes, energy flows. You focused on the wrong things. If you're focused on nothing at all, by default, you are focusing on the wrong thing. That's where your energy goes, and you get results from that. If you're focused on the right things, if you're focused on the process over the result, inevitably, good things will come. If you're focused on the good things, you're focused on the process over the result, inevitably, good things will come. Focus on the moment. And the last thing I got, when you focus on the moment, you can't overthink your way out of something or overanalyze your way into something. I cannot overanalyze myself into hitting a double by perfecting my swing on deck or having a perfect plan. I can't outthink myself out of a slump. I can't I gotta feel my way out of a slump. I can't just think my way out of a slump. You have to create room in your mind by being in the moment to allow things to happen naturally, and then learn from them and take them forward. And that was something I got from Rick Rubin's book. You have to create room in your mind for things to happen. Because if you don't, you're either overthinking the past, trying to think your way out of it, or you're preparing for the future by overanalyzing it, trying to, prepare your way into success. Or maybe not so much prepare your way into success, but create this perfect plan into success, and it doesn't happen that way. Use truly all you have is moment by moment, and it morphs into allowing yourself space to have success. That's all it is. I'm pulling into work here now, so I'm at the peace. I appreciate y'all. At some point you'll hear this, and I hope, or I know someone, at least one person, will take something from this. But until then, appreciate y'all. Peace.